But my dear, I'm so worried about you. What are you going to eat?
Hey everyone, my name is Joe and I'm the Kosher Ninja. We're planning and preparing my bucket list adventure, which is to hike through Israel from one end to the other along the Israel National Trail, or Shvil Israel, later this year. I'm so glad you've stopped by, and I hope that while you're here you'll subscribe. But right now we're going to talk about food on the trail. And Dr. P, this one's for you. So if you're like my dentist, you may be wondering what I'm going to be eating on the trail. Well, first of all, I'm going to be in Israel. The produce in Israel is just amazing. So like the fruits and the vegetables, it's unbelievable. Carrying that on my back, on the other hand, which is what I'm going to have to do, is going to be a little bit tricky. So really a lot of my food situation I'll be figuring out as I go, but I can talk about some of the related issues around sort of my kitchen issues and what some of the types of food that I might bring. So to the extent that I can carry sort of fresh foods, produce, vegetables, fruits, stuff like that in my pack without getting it smushed too much and without being too heavy, I definitely want to do that as much as I can. But the Shvil actually goes through a lot of little towns and is very close to civilization most of the way. So in a lot of places and a lot of times I'll be able to just pick up stuff as I go, or for the day I'll be able to resupply for the day or for a couple of days. To the extent that I can grab a falafel at a falafel stand, I will definitely be doing a lot of those. And I mean, we're talking Israel, pita, hummus, olives, baba ganoush. Just there's so much amazing food in Israel. I don't even know where to begin. So in terms of what backpackers generally bring, a lot of backpackers will bring these rehydratable food packages that you can buy. These ones are Nomad Nutrition and Alpineaire foods. Basically, you just boil water and pour it in the pouch, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and voila, you've got 3 cheese lasagna in this case, and Hungarian goulash. I am a little bit limited in terms of what I can eat because of certain food dietary choices that I've made. So I don't eat meat of any kind. The only thing that I will eat is fish, kosher fish specifically. And then there's a lot of other things that right now I'm not eating dairy. I'm going to have to loosen some of those restrictions on the Shvil, and I definitely will be eating cheese along the way, although I normally wouldn't right now because of what I'm doing on that end. But it's okay. The Shvil calls for desperate measures. So the other thing is, like, you've got like little cereal packages. Those are great for bringing along, and again, you just hydrate those with hot water. So one of the things, because I'm sort of a vegetarian-ish, it's really important for me to get enough protein. And I discovered something really awesome a few weeks ago in the grocery store. So peanut butter is kind of a staple for backpackers, but it does tend to weigh a lot because of the water content. So I found this product, which is, this particular brand is Just Great Stuff, but there's other brands out there. It's actually powdered peanut butter, You add water and you reconstitute it. I think it's 1-to-1. And suddenly you have peanut butter without the extra weight of all the water. So if I wanted to take actually this much peanut butter, fresh, like reconstituted peanut butter, it would probably be this big and weigh a ton. But I can pack along a little bit of this and just mix it up with some water, and suddenly I have peanut butter and I have protein and I'm good to go. And the other thing, this is going to be my olive oil. I am going to be relying on olive oil for fat and calories for the Shvil, because obviously calories are one of the important things that people look for in terms of food on the Shvil, just to make sure you have enough energy to hike for the day. Now, I had initially planned, I had bought this MSR Pocket Rocket Stove Kit. And this is my kitchen right here. It's a pot, and it's a bowl, and a pot, and a stove. Yes, that is a stove. It unfolds like this. I have not actually used it yet, so I'm still a little bit rusty at how it works. But it unfolds, and you can set your pot on top of that, and it hooks onto a fuel source. So this is your fuel source. The stove hooks onto that, and then the pot on top, and you cook your water. So I was initially planning to bring this with me in order to be able to cook some of those backpacker meals, and most specifically because I wear a bite plate at night because I grind my teeth. So in order to get that into my mouth, I have to soften it up using some hot water. Now, my dentist, who was wondering what I was going to eat, she has come up with an amazing solution for me. There is a different kind of a bite plate that doesn't apparently need to be heated up. So before I go, I'm going to get fitted for one of those, and I'm going to bring it along and test it out, and hopefully that'll work and I won't need the stove. That will save me a whole bunch of weight. And if I don't need those, then I don't need the pot, and I can bring just some lightweight. I have here a lightweight Sea to Summit bowl and Sea to Summit cup. Pops out like that. It's actually pops out like that. And they're fairly lightweight, and this one can serve as a cutting board as well. We'll see if I'll use that. But so those will actually be very useful if I don't need the pot. And I'm actually looking forward to checking out Dr. P's appliance, and can't wait to see how that works. So I also have myself a titanium spork. That's also lightweight, so that is what I will be eating with. And that's my kitchen. I will be carrying my kitchen along the trail. I don't know if I'm going to bring this yet. It's a spatula type thing. Can use it for doing cleanup. But I probably won't need it. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's my kitchen. The other thing that's really important, aside from food, obviously, is water. And that's one thing that I've really learned in Israel, is water is super important. To have enough clean water. And most of the places up in the north and the central areas, there's enough water that you can refill every day. And there's places along the way where you can get more water. So I'm not worried about water in the north. But in the south, in the desert, you actually have to carry your water for a number of days, and water is crazy heavy. 1 liter of water weighs let's see, I think it was 1 liter of water weighs a kilo. Is that right? Or 1 liter of water weighs a pound, probably a kilo. And that is a lot of weight on your back when you're carrying all your other gear with you. So you need, generally on a normal day, you need about 4 liters of water. And in the desert, you need a good deal more. So 5 or 6 kilos of water on your back with everything else, and that's just one day, is insane. So what you can do is you can cache water, and you can do it yourself, or there are people who will go and do it for you, and they recommend that you use one of the services. It's not any cheaper to do it yourself. So you just call up one of the services that will cache water for you. They will cache water in the desert at the places that you plan to stay, and they'll tell you where they are. And then when you get there, you dig it up, find your water, and then you have water for the night and for the next day's hike. And but aside from that, in terms of carrying water on your back, I have a Platypus Big Zip LP, and it's a 2 liter. So I don't know, there are people have two opinions of these, whether or not they're useful or not. I want to try it and see if I like it. And this will go inside the back of my pack, and the tube will feed its way through my pack, and then it'll be at my mouth. I can just drink whenever I want as I'm hiking along. I don't have to stop, put my pack down, and get a bottle of water out. So that, I'm really quite excited to test that out and see how it works. But I will also I have here 4 actually, 3 1 liter and 1 2 liter, just regular water bottles. These are plastic, so they get very compact. And you fill it up with water, and it'll fill up, and you just you can put it on the outside pockets of your pack, or you can just put it in your pack and you carry it when you need it. You drink from, put your pack down and drink from it. So I'll have a number of different water options just to make sure that I have the most convenient way of carrying the right amount of water for any particular day. The other thing that people do is they camel up. So when they're at a camp spot and they have water before they leave for the day, they'll drink as much water as they can before they set out, and then that way they have to carry less. The other thing that's going to allow me to carry less water is carrying that sun umbrella that I was telling you about. And that should cut down about 1 liter of water every day. So that's going to be really nice to not have to carry that much water, that extra water. And yeah, then I have something else in here related to my kitchen. I can't remember what this is. I have some electrolyte tabs. Those will also be helpful in case of whatever dehydration. I had this long spoon that I was going to bring if I brought those, if I brought my stove and more of those pouches. I don't think I'm going to bring many of those pouches because I'll be close to civilization most of the time. But who knows? You'll see. And because if I get that new bite plate, and I don't bring the stove, then I'm not sure. Some people cold soak, and I may try some of that with some of these backpacker meals, but I don't know how well they're going to cold soak. So we'll have to look into that and find out. And if they don't work too well, then I won't be bringing those. But I like that this is long and I can reach into the bottom of the big pouches, as opposed to this Spork, which is much shorter and won't fit in so well, won't reach the bottom of those pouches. So I'm not sure. We'll if, like, I am bringing the titanium spork, that's for sure. Not sure about the long spoon. And this was also related to the stove. This is it's a gizmo to add some stability to the stove. But again, if Dr. P's appliance comes through and it works, then I won't be needing that, and that would be awesome. It would save me more weight again on the in my pack. So that is my kitchen, that is my food. Don't worry, Dr. P, I will not starve. So if you're as excited about my adventure as I am, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And if you have any questions or comments about my kitchen setup, or if you're as worried about my diet and how I'm going to survive on the Shvil as my dentist is, then leave me a comment in the comment section below. And as always, if you've ever hiked the Shvil or elsewhere in Israel, tell me about it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'm so excited to be sharing this journey with you, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and shalom, eh?